Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Here we are out on the bike. This is a rather nice feeling. It's not a special one, but it is a nice feeling because this is the end of the working week, but it's a Friday evening, so it's a post-work evening ride. We've just passed the summer solstice, so the nights are drawing in, as it were. Yeah, we've got to make use of these longer, lighter nights whilst we've got them. In all reality, it won't be long before we haven't. So, in fine biking buddies fashion, as always, grab yourself a brew, grab yourself a beer, strap yourselves in and come with me on this little short post-work evening ride. Let's roll VT.
Where do you go when you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, cause you're desperate? Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison, what's your pleasure?
Okay then folks, so that is the titles out the way, done and dusted, and we're off and out of the blocks. So what am I up to today is the loud cry. Well, this is probably going to be a short little video. It's certainly going to be a short little ride for me. And what better way to shake the working week off, prepare yourself for the weekend, than get out just for a cheeky couple of hours or so on the bike. I'm not really doing a route as such. In fact, I haven't actually got a route planned. I'm just heading over roughly towards the North Yorkshire Moors just because that is on my doorstep. The weather very much has been very much up and down in the northeast of England in this mid part of summer. Mostly it's been akin to autumn weather, very windy, very wet, and yeah, not really indicative of those heady summer days that we all dream about. So I am grabbing the opportunity while it's here just to head up into the hills, do a couple of trails. I'm not really out to do trails as such. I just fancied a little bit of open space, a little bit of greenery, a bit of nature and a bit of me time with the bike as well. So June has been incredibly busy, as I intimated in the earlier videos there, and I have been restricted on how much I can get out on the bike, but now we're done and dusted, we're into July. There's quite a lot going on in July, a lot with the bike, a lot with the TRF, and a lot on my own as well. My good mate is back from overseas as well, or he will be by the time this video is uploaded. So yes, there's going to be quite a bit coming out the channel and quite a bit for yours truly to fit in the bag as well. So I'm going to enjoy these little sections of trail here. Now I do like this little trail as an opener. I've often said that you just need a couple of gentle little trails just as the openers, just to get used to the bike moving around again. Particularly if, like myself, I've not actually ridden constantly that much, so you do feel a little bit bike rusty. I'm not entirely sure how people go on when they've sewn the bike and they've not ridden the bike like all winter, and then they dig the bike out ready for the springtime. You can certainly see how there can be so many road accidents. So yes, we tumbled down here, down Church Lane I think this is called. It's a very pretty place, and I don't think I've ever seen it dry like this before, which is quite incredible. Even at the bottom, look at this, I've got a dry line and a dry approach, and virtually no water in here whatsoever. Just going to take it a little bit easy on the way out. There's a few people here, looks like they're cutting grass. Evening, how do? Always nice to have a positive interaction with people. I'm sure if it had just come hooning up there I would have got a very different reception, but hey ho, here we are in this beautiful sleepy little village of Ingleby Greenhow. And man alive, it does feel nice to be out on the bike. I have missed this a lot. I've enjoyed the time that I've had that's kept me busy through June. I have enjoyed that, I must admit. Those that follow me on a personal level or on other platforms, you'll fully understand why. And that has been very incredible, very nice. But I must admit, yeah, it's very nice to be out on the bike. Yeah, so here we are. These are the opening sections on Coulson Banks now. Very dry as you'd expect. I guess, you know, we have... Wow, see that rabbit there? I guess we have had quite a bit of rain of late, but the land is just so parched at the moment that it's just all completely soaking away. Okay, so just going to tiptoe our way through the livestock there. And this is what I do like about this time of year, just how peaceful it is, and get out on the bike. It's actually nice flying solo. And a lot of things that are nice about flying solo is you just need no pace in the ride at all, just a nice steady away, enough just to absorb where you are, enjoy the scenery, and just respect the landscape as well, I guess. Absolutely no rush whatsoever. How bouldery that is there. Always worth just crowning out nice and steady when you come over here. There's invariably, and here we are, always sheep in this top section of the field. I think it's where the water butts are for the animals as well, or maybe just, I don't know, there's dried up stream bed there, I don't know. But wow, look at this, for just utterly beautiful. Come on, Mr. Lambs. Once we're over here through the cattle grid, then we're all good. Okay, so let's get ourselves to the bottom of the woods. That way we're not going to bother the sheep. And let's have a little look around. Okay, so here we are on Coulson Banks. We've just stopped halfway up just to have a little bit of look, and this is where we did the Pathkeeper scheme, and you can see how rutted this becomes, not only from four-wheel drive vehicles, of course, a combination of just general trail usage, and also the fact that it is a very steep hill. You can just see the bike up there, not more than kind of 30 feet, 40 feet away, and that's quite elevated. It's more or less just the runoff that we get with the water. Once there's a slight little rut forms, then that's obviously where the water goes and starts to wash the trail out. If we have a look up ahead here, and obviously you've got these softer sections in the trail, and you can see where certainly there's big lug marks there from agricultural vehicles coming up just as much as bikes and obviously four-wheel drives as well. But it is just a bit of a reminder that we've got to be very gentle with the throttle when we're coming up and down these trails. Very easy just to be spinning that back wheel up and having a hoolie of a time, but ultimately we've got to respect these trails if we want to keep them open for our pastime and everybody else's. So I'm just going to enjoy this absolutely fantastic place. Going to get up just on the border of the woods there, just so I can feel a bit of breeze, but man alive, just have a listen. Apart from the squeaking of my boots, there's just no noise at all. A couple of little wood pigeons that I can hear off in the distance there. What a perfect way to round the working week off. And there we are away. Why would people go off the trail like that? Dear me, did you see that off to the right there? Just crazy. I mean, if you really want to push yourself and challenge yourself that much, bike or four-wheel drive, get yourself off to one of these trials days. There's plenty of them around. Little pockets of moisture still. What a beautiful, beautiful place to ride. And on an evening like today, you've just got the trail to yourself. There's a very high chance you might stumble across a deer or some other wildlife. We've already seen rabbits jump out in front of the bike. Just absolutely incredible. We are lucky to have this on our doorstep. I know I do say that a lot, but just, you know, literally 20 minutes from the house. And here we are. Just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful and stunning. Let's get the other side of the gate then and have another look around. Okay, so that's us topped out of the woodland on Coulson Banks, and here's something that is quite synonymous with the national park. You see these little purple flowers that are on the heather here? Absolutely vivid and vibrant. It's around this time of year that all of the heather starts to come out in blossom, and you can certainly see when we're further up on the tops, you just get swathes and swathes of purple right across the whole national park, which looks absolutely stunning. The other thing that bodes well, incidentally as well, is this tiny little bush here. Don't know whether you can make this out, but you see these little tiny little blackberries. Let's pull one off there. These little fellas here are called bilberries. They are edible, and as a kid I used to come bilberry picking with Gran and Grandad. We'd get them home and Gran would make a fantastic bilberry or bilberry and apple pie or apple crumble. Absolutely superb. So the other thing that you guys may well have noticed, those astute amongst you may well see that we now have a little carrying device on the back of the bike. And what is this, pray tell? Well, it's a dry bag. No surprises for guessing there. I was just in one of our budget supermarkets the other day, and I saw these for literally a couple of quid, and I thought, you know what, these are going to be incredibly handy for something that I find very irritating, and that's litter. So here we are out in this utterly beautiful area, as you can see. Now arguably this may well have just fallen off a bike or a car or a jeep or something, but there we are, dead glove. Does pose a little bit of a danger to animals, etc., as well as being a blight on this beautiful landscape. So I figured, for the sake of a couple of quid, virtually a disposable item, I could get myself a little dry bag, stick it on the back of the bike, and it can permanently live there and travel around with me, so that as and when we come across litter, that we can then just pick it up, stick it in the dry bag, and the next time we pass a suitable bin, we can dispose of it responsibly, the way that indeed that it should be, and that'll just sit on the back of the bike there. And I'll pretty much carry that with me constantly now, so that as and when I stop, or if I see something, drinks cans, sweet wrappers, etc., we can pick them up, and that just helps to cleanse the area that we love and we know so well. Oh my life, how am I going to get that? Okay, so we haven't literally come more than about 100 feet up, and we're not on the best place to stop, but that said, it's not going to deter me. He absolutely winds the life out of me just coming up a trail like this. I mean, look around us. We've got the purple heather just coming out in bloom, a western sun. I know the GoPro throws everything right off in the distance, but look, man alive, you know, drinks bottle, like really, that's been there a long time. So let's squish it down, squish the air out of it, get that in the dry bag, and that's another bit of litter, plastic, off the trail. But that's not a bad thing. If it gets the litter off the trails and away, then in my mind, even better. Very irritating nonetheless, but that's what I bought the bag for. Couple of quid. I've got another one at home, so if that only lasts a handful of months, so be it. Right, let's see if I can't get to the top of this trail without stopping to pick some more litter up. Dear me, should have called this litter patrol rather than coming out for a trail ride. There we are. And literally look how close we are to the road. Dear me, very frustrating indeed. There's a curlew flying away there. Do you know what, I'm going to enjoy where I'm at just for a couple of minutes. And why don't you guys enjoy this with me as well? Let's come around here. What an absolutely fantastic part of the world. So my trail and my route is just going to take me across the way there. There's a couple of short trails that just climb up onto the embankment, across and back down, and then I'm pretty much going to work my way home before this sun gets too far west and it gets late. It is the end of a working week, and I'm not a huge fan of late nights, as you guys well know, and we'll find a bin to put our litter in as well. So at least we know we've done a little bit of good, as well as a bit of good for the mind and body as well. What an amazing view and an amazing descent. We are a little bit early in the year just yet for the total blooms of purple, but you can certainly start to get an idea when all of these hills in front of us and off in the middle and far distance all become very vivid purple with these tiny little flowers. And the heather supports the grouse, and the grouse supports the local economy, the landowners, the land management, etc. It's all interlinked. There's a complete synergy between all of it, and that's very much where we fit into this. We've got to respect that notion that we aren't the sole users out here. Obviously we're here for recreation. We don't carve a living. There's a curlew, look, We don't carve a living from this landscape. We use it for enjoyment, for personal betterment, for mental betterment, all of the above. And on evenings like today, I know I'm waxing lyrical on this video, guys, and maybe that's putting some of you off, I don't know. I certainly don't mean to, obviously. I am just in the moment, loving all of this, and I'm loving the fact that I'm on my own, I'm doing 20 miles an hour, tumbling off here, I'm absorbing all of this, and because the speed is so sedate, I can just transit through this landscape really without kind of disturbing anything, almost leaving zero trace, zero footprints. I'm picking a bit of litter up along the way as well, so it's a win-win. These lambs are looking less lamb-like and more like small sheep. That's what you got to be careful of. Don't know where mum sheep is. A little lamb there on the opposite side of the road. And here we are, climb, climb, climb. Up through the woods onto the top. Very loose under wheel, but utterly beautiful. And we pop up the tops here, and should be a double set of gates here, or a larger gate and a single gate. And through we'll go. Popping out of the woodland, back out onto the open moorland. It is that time of year that you'd expect, or time of day rather, that you would expect to see deer, badgers and all manner of other animals moving around. So we'll get the gate and pop out onto the moor top. Wow, a little bit of water, look at that. I'll have to get some mud on the bike. So yeah, this little trail pops us out behind what's locally known as Cleveland's Little Mountain, which is Roseberry Topping. But yeah, this is utterly beautiful tonight. Utterly beautiful. And very definitely a good idea to come out at the end of the week, post-working week, and just get a little bit of a bike fix, bit of me time, chilling out, back home, and still not late to bed. Fantastic. So one tiny little trail to dispatch before we're done, and then I can head homeward. Look how fantastic the Cleveland Hills are looking tonight. Just getting a little bit of colour in the sky now. We're still way too early for the sunset. It is 7:30 British summertime, so arguably there's a good 2.5 hours worth before the sun is actually setting, a good 2 hours. But nonetheless, with this level of high cloud that we've got, we may actually get some decent colours splashing up into the night sky. So the trail that we're going to take now just winds our way across the top here, down through the woods, and then down into Gribdale, that we can see down there to my left hand side. And here we are, within no time at all. We're at the end of the Gribdale Road. Now it used to be, in the days of yore, you used to be able to drive straight up ahead through the Gribdale Road, and that would take you off down towards Gisborough. But no longer can you do that. Probably another one of those trails that's been lost through various access challenges. But we've got this nice little tumble down here, and as far as inauspicious trails go, this is about as inauspicious as it gets, without the exceptions of the plateaus across the top. But it is nice just to be out in nature. Look at that rabbit across the track there. You actually see so much more when you're on your own. I guess you're making a lot less noise, you're just bimbling along. There's Mr. Rabbit running under the gate. Just incredible, just incredible. It's difficult to describe really, unless you're obviously here experiencing it, but it is very difficult to describe just how nice and how pleasant it can be on an evening ride just like this, where there's next to no level of challenge. We'll just put that in gear. Next to no level of challenge whatsoever in the riding. But hey ho, you know, when you've got scenery like this, just utterly beautiful. Captain Cook's Monument over there. Let's just have a quick look. We are looking to windward. This is kind of classic deer territory down in these little quiet valleys. Lots of rabbits skitting around everywhere. Just absolutely magical. Okay then folks, so I'm going to enjoy these closing sections of the trail. If you have stuck with me to the end of this, a little bit of a wax lyrical video. It certainly didn't intend it to be that way when I set out. In fact, I didn't actually know what the video was going to be like anyway, or indeed how long it was actually going to be. So if you have stuck with me to the end, then thank you very much for your company as always. If you've liked the video, then please give it a thumbs up, drop a comment. I do my level best to reply to those, both positive or negative. If you haven't subscribed, then again, please do so. My eyes are just catching an owl, just flying across the way. You probably won't have seen that on the GoPro. I do apologise, folks, but yeah, that looked like a barn owl just swooping down into the valley. It'll be after all of those mice for its tea. So yes, please do hit that subscribe button. It does wonders for the YouTube algorithms and the general growth and support of the channel. So the final thing for me to say out here with a little bit of a dusty T7 in the beautiful, utterly stunning North Yorkshire Moors National Park. Wherever you are, guys, enjoy your ride, keep it safe, and wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, we'll catch you for the next one. Cheers folks, bye now, bye.